Question 9.3. For which values of x will x times f dash of x be smaller than 0? So this is a great question because if it was just f dash of x smaller than 0, that's very easy to tell. We can see that our derivative for our function f after sketching it is positive over here, negative over here, and positive over here. And then we would just list those x values to be negative and smaller, 0 to 3. That would just be this interval over there. But now they're saying for which values of x will x times f of x be smaller than 0. All right, so looking at our sketch, let's just indicate where our graph's derivative is smaller than x, so it's negative. That will be over here. So if x is positive, so we just have to think about this, not too difficult. If x is positive from here and negative over here, all values of x are positive. So what's x times a negative when x is positive? That's minus x. So if we look at our question, that's exactly what they want. They want when x times f dash of x. So to write that down, let's write this down actually. X in the interval in 0 to 3, our derivative is smaller than 0, and our x values are bigger than 0. In our region negative infinity to minus a third, our derivative is positive, and our x values are negative. And in our region negative a third to 0, our derivative is negative, and our x values are negative. And finally, in our region 3 to infinity, now you don't have to write all of this down. I'm just writing it down so we can visualize it and allow you guys to answer the question better in the future. And if you get confused, you do know you can write it down like this. 3 to 0, our derivative is positive, and our x values are positive. So we have all our intervals for our given f of x, where our derivative changes, and where our x value changes. Now they want where x times f of x, f dash of x, is smaller than 0. So let's just compare. Let's compare all of this. In the first one, f dash of x is negative, x is bigger than 0. When you times those numbers with one another, or the x values, you'll get smaller than 0. Number 2, f dash of x is positive, x is smaller than 0. When you times those numbers with one another, you get smaller than 0, negative. Next one, f dash of x is negative, x is negative. When you times those numbers with one another, you'll get x positive. And the last one, they're both positive, so positive times positive is positive. So we notice the only ones that give us the desired answer are these two. So to write that more formally, we can say, therefore, and I like to do notation like this, so I will say x will be an element of 0 to 3, and x will be an element of minus infinity It's minus a third. And it's not square brackets, because if it was square, the derivative would be 0. And 0 times anything will be 0. And they don't have a small or equal to 0 here. They have a smaller than sign. So we don't include square brackets. And that is our answer. This over here is the answer that they wanted. And that is the problem solved.